what are they calling it? A hobosexual?
No, tell me more.
Okay, we are live. A
Okay.
hobosexual is somebody that hooks up with someone else for the sole purpose of like having a place to live.
Oh yeah, I had some buddies like that, mostly in the military.
Okay. But yeah, no, what you were saying about Twitch, I haven't watched people's streams and I still don't, except for, my real estate co's streams.
Mhm.
And trying to pull it up here. And it says last live and it says we are live.
Yeah, I've got the little icon
Leave
up in the
it to
top
me to
right.
screw this up. Oh well, I'm not gonna monitor it then. Um, and Brian is actually the one that told me to do it because he's like is always on Twitch and he went to TwitchCon this year.
Oh,
And
nerd, I love
so
it.
exactly.
Yeah,
And so he taught us all the tricks and like how we should probably try to, like just different things to kind of keep leveling it up. And I think 42 followers on Twitch for being real estate and
yeah.
nothing to do with gaming is not bad for
Oh,
a start.
it's true crime. Like I love that. That is so awesome. So
Oh, good. I'm glad you're liking the true
yeah.
crime.
Do
When,
you think we'll do anything local? You know
yeah.
what I'm talking about. Okay,
Uh-huh.
that'll be fun.
I definitely I am definitely gonna cover that story. And
Awesome.
that's actually part of what got us into the true crime segment. Because when did you on board with us?
Oh man.
Was it after October?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, so during October, we did a whole set of like haunted houses.
Hmm.
Like, what would you do if you're the agent and like this situation and your clients call you and they had the Amity, you fucking sold them the
Right.
Amityville house. So, after that, we were like, oh my gosh, this storytelling vibe is it. We all wore like hoodies, we all turned the lights low during October. And so then I told another story and so I started saying truth telling Tuesdays, right? And that's what I thought about the local story. I'm like, I'm definitely going to cover that at some point. And then it morphed into true crime because like I love that shit. So that's what I love about this brokerage is I get to, dip into my creativity
Hmm.
and do stuff like that. It doesn't all have to be stiff, right?
Right.
And agents can still get something out of it, right?
Mhm.
Okay, I can throw some slides up. Okay, I can shit. Throw some slides up. Which is up. There we go. We are live. I had that window open.
Oops.
All right, cool. So, have you ever even seen our slides? Yeah, because you've watched a MyRECo
Hmm.
Revealed. You did your research before coming over. You'd be surprised how few people have like watched this or, done any research about the brokerage.
Yeah.
They just hear one or two things and they're like, you son
And
of a bitch, I'm in.
yeah, no, I studied it. I thought there was going to be a test. I was worried I was going to get denied. Lost some sleep. It was rough.
Um, so I guess the first thing I want to do when, starting this off, this is my Rico Revealed tonight. We have special guest Damien Swords. He's been a good friend of mine in the real estate game. Gosh, I want to say like what, 2 years now?
If not more. Yeah.
Yeah. And we just kind of hit it off. You meet somebody and you just bond and you hit it off and that's Damien and what I love about Damien and he's always not been shy about asking questions to level up in real estate. And that is a quality that actually very few agents have. So I met Damien when he was like newer in the game, and you're very you're a very good hustler. I've been able to refer deals to you where I'm like, I'm not driving all the way out there. And you're like, but I will. And so that's what's been really great is watching you level up your career just by taking on those deals. You're very coachable. You take a lot of advice. And I also appreciate that you also use your head. You take a second, you go get a second opinion sometimes, and then you combine a couple of different ideas towards what your end goal is. But why don't you tell the audience about yourself, Damien?
I've been in real estate for about 3 years. I love it. I wish I would have got into it earlier, but there just wasn't in the cards. The time wasn't right. But before getting into real estate, I was actually in lending. I was working as an LOA or a loan officer assistant. And I might have been doing that if things went the other way. But I got really tired of sitting behind a desk getting fat. So I was like, I need to make some changes, and that's how I got into real estate. I'm a 9-year Navy veteran. I was a master at arms, so law enforcement definitely shaped me. Helps me in real estate too. Like I think the military gave me the tools to be able to like read people a little bit better too, you know. Um,
Absolutely.
so yeah.
Yeah, and a dog lover.
Yes, I've got 3 boneheads, so
Yeah. So Damien and I met when we both worked at a different brokerage. And he had a ton of complaints at that brokerage, and I was what's called like an area leader. And I really took those complaints to heart because I am a problem solver. And he wasn't the only one with complaints. And this brokerage just couldn't get out of its own way. It was screwing up left and right. And what sucked was I, as a leader, was unable to solve his problems and these other agents' problems because leadership at that brokerage refused to take advice. They refused to listen to their leaders and their agents, and there was really nothing I could do. So agents like Damien would look at me like, hey, you're a leader in our area, please resolve these issues. And my hands were tied. But then as a leader, I can't bag on that brokerage and be like, yeah, these guys suck, they're not listening to me. And so I mean, truly stuck between a rock and a hard place. So Sandy Burnett's never been one to just sit on her hands. And I told Damien one day, Damien was very candid with me and was like, listen, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to get up on out of here, and I'm going to leave this brokerage. And I said, well, just so you know, I am going to be starting a brokerage because it's just been awful to watch agents complain and to not be able to do anything about it. And this brokerage had burned Damien so bad that he was like, well, I'm not going to be coming with you because I know that you're building a national brand, and I don't want to join a national brokerage. I want to join something that's like local and has this hometown feel, has a physical office here. And I respected that. I hope I didn't give you shit for it. I respected it.
no.
Right. And everybody's got to do like take their business anywhere that they feel is best for them. Um, and so about 10 months later, I'd say, Damien called and was like, listen, I'm ready to come over. I've done my research, I've seen enough, and let's do it. And um, Damien is a tough crowd sometimes. And so I really wanted to knock it out of the park for Damien. And so the fact that he's here, like participating with me at 8 p.m. on a MyRECo Revealed, is one of the biggest compliments that I could possibly receive. So thank you for being here.
Anytime.
So this is just a little bit that we're going to discuss about the model that we've built. And the industry is broken and agents deserve better. Agents deserve better than the brokerages that I personally have been at. in the past. I have seen these national cloud-based brokerages, and the models started off with good intentions, but there are these loopholes that are easily exploited, and they've ran their course. And I've seen the pitfalls, and here are the pitfalls. And agents don't want to feel like they work at an MLM. Lots of the leadership have huge egos. They don't want to listen to agents they've never produced, or they produced one or two deals and was like, I can do this. Agents don't want to feel pressured to recruit. They are told, with these downlines, this is your retirement plan and everything. And really, there's only top 10 to 20 agents at these huge national brokerages are getting serious money, enough money to retire on. They're all selling that dream to these agents, and these agents take their eye off the ball, which is producing, which is being very good at buying and selling properties. And it's just sad. Then they spend all this time recruiting agents, and they have to endlessly nurture their downline. And then they have to convince everybody why a pyramid is okay and that they're not at a pyramid. And it's just rough. Then they name the wrong sponsor, and all of a sudden they feel alone on an island. And there's just all kinds of ridiculous complaints that are completely avoidable. All right. And so when Holly and I created this brokerage, we were like, we actually have the chance to solve all of these pain points. All of these other national cloud-based brokerages that you see out here, they are all going to have these same complaints, because they're all just a tiny tweak different, maybe a little split different, maybe a little cap different, but they're all MLMs. They all have this, they all reward the recruiters and not the producers. Just pay attention to where their money's going. So this is my real estate company. And the very first thing we did to set ourselves apart was name the company My Real Estate Company. Why? Because we want you, the agent, to take and feel that pride and ownership in branding yourself or your team along with the company. We also allow you to brand the My in your personal brand color. And that way, I can guarantee it's going to blend in with any of the logos that you currently have or anything. And yeah, Damien, I did your logo.
I see that.
Yep, you're my. And also not pictured is a black logo. So we've got a white logo with the colored my, and the black logo. And this is just like our vibe. So our mission is we lead from the front. We lead by example, building a profitable, scalable business, and we teach our agents to do the same. We want to make it possible for them to win everywhere and to work everywhere and build lasting relationships. Our vision is to change the way real estate feels, where relationships, not recruiting games, is what drives success. So if you see a My Real Estate Company agent calling you on the phone, chances are you're not going to have to roll your eyes and wonder if it's somebody recruiting you. They are calling you about buying and selling. They're calling you about your listing. They're calling you about getting their clients through the door, because that's what we're bringing back. And if they did have a really good deal with you and they are inviting you to the company, then that is a huge, huge compliment, and it's not taken lightly. But your growth isn't capped here, it's expected. Every week we have a company meeting on Thursdays, and we cover down on the core values. And every week I kind of open up the mic to anybody that wants to jump in and say any core value that jumped out at them this week. And so, Damien, did anything jump out at you this week?
It's always handle it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Why is it handle it?
Just get it done. I mean, it's just military. You know what I mean? That's just how we roll. It's never a
Yeah.
problem. We're just going to take care of it. I work well in chaos, just works.
And that's why, again, we are invite only is because we want to have that can-do attitude. We want agents that do have that instead of the agents that are like, why isn't there a training on this? We have agents that are like, can I host a training on this or whatever? Um, but our staff really does roll out the red carpet whenever an agent is posting in their private support channel of needing anything. Usually a staff member is jumping in to see how they can help immediately. And I'm really proud of that. So a little about me. I'm a Marine Corps veteran and I have a business degree from St. Ambrose, which is local here in the Quad Cities, St. Ambrose University. And I also had a government career on the Rock Island Arsenal. I worked in continuity of operations, which is why I think that, I believe I was put into continuity of operations and planning those military operations to help scale this national brokerage properly. Um, these other national brokerages, when I was at them, a natural disaster would happen. And I know that their CEO had no idea which agents were impacted or affected or their families or anything, nor did they try to find out or care. And we're scaling differently. We're ensuring that we have succession plans in place and that our operations continuously run smoothly. Holly is our COO and my business partner. We are equal partners in this, and no other national cloud-based brokerage has this combined amount of experience in production and staff level experience. Not all brokers are created equal. And Holly's experience as a managing broker is a force to be reckoned with. I've really put her through the ringer over the years as a producing agent. I am a rebel and I toe the gray line, especially with marketing. And I'm always like, yeah, but can I get away with this? And what I've always respected about Holly is she will find out and she'll get back to me. She'll never just, I have had brokers that were not Holly because I'm licensed in more than one state, and lazy brokers will say, well, just to be safe, don't do it. Just to be safe, put this disclaimer. And I don't like that. I like to be dangerous, not safe. So, and Damien, you said something like you owe Holly a drink,
Oh
right?
no, like if we are ever at the same bar, like that girl's not buying any drinks. I owe her all of them.
We love Holly. She really spends a lot of time, helping agents work through their issues. And without getting into any details, Damien had something pop up, and something I'm proud of about this brokerage is we had a couple of other brokers in the room at the same time in our Zoom room, and we were all kind of weighing in on the issue and just seeing how we thought the best course of action should be. And in my whole life, it was so fucking hard to get a hold of a broker at different brokerages, let alone have three or four different experienced brokers weighing in on their expertise. So it was pretty amazing.
How
Mark,
many
go
how
ahead.
many years of experience do you think we had in that Zoom?
Oh my God.
Like,
35, 45. I would say at least 60 years of
yeah,
experience.
I've never experienced that before. Like after I got off that Zoom, I almost had chills, like just to like that level of support and everybody came, there for me. Like that was amazing. I've been at other brokerages where I'm freaking out because there's a moment that as an agent, you're not exactly sure what to do and you need that support and your managing broker's not picking up and time is of the essence. And here, every time I've needed something, it's damn near instantaneous that someone's in a Zoom with me going, hey, let's figure this out.
I appreciate that. That's exactly what we aim to do. And I love that you said about getting chills because that's exactly what happens for me as well. And that's why we record everything too, right? Um, I'm like, Holly and I are so sure that this company is just going to be huge, right? And then we're so sure that after it's huge, that Netflix or somebody's going to want to come make a documentary out of this, right? And it's moments like that I'm like, that's gonna go on the documentary. And we'll always make jokes and be like, that's a documentary moment. That's a documentary moment. So yeah, that was definitely a documentary moment. That was really cool. Um, Especially the joke that I made. But so Mark Kearney is our CFO, and he is very good. He's led many startups into multi-billion dollar firms. So he's awesome. He's out of Colorado. Okay, so these are some new slides, and I'm experimenting with trying to show what all we offer and how all the different routes that an agent can go with memberships at our company. So you could go the traditional residential agent route, and you're going to have white glove concierge onboarding and support, access to marketing templates, in-house TC services, live training, several live trainings every week. And this isn't some bullshit like AI quick dumps. This is like really good trainings and stuff you're actually going to use. Like people go and take CE, and that's usually never stuff you're ever going to use. We try to really incorporate stuff into agents' businesses. We use Follow Up Boss for a CRM, and we did recently get an upgrade that I know, Damien, you were like paying for your own number when you
Mhm.
first came here, and then we were able to upgrade
Yep.
everybody's accounts to where you don't have to do that. And so we're excited for that. And the more agents we get, the more upgrades we can do. So we're excited. We have Luxury Presence as a website for our agents. And if you know Luxury Presence, you love Luxury Presence. It's just gorgeous. You can do beautiful CMAs off of that. We just introduced Popple, which is our digital business card and email signature of choice. And the email signatures are awesome. You can have clickable social media icons or download your contact. Um, Along with Luxury Presence, we have a client-facing home search app, which is called My Property Match, and that's in the Apple Store. And we use Slack. 77% of Fortune 100 companies use Slack. And again, part of our mission statement is to run a profitable, scalable business. We want to teach agents skills and software that they can use no matter where they're at, inside or outside of real estate. We are e-sign platform of choice, but if you want a e-sign platform given to you, the company will give you .loop. We have E&O insurance that covers every single state except Nebraska. Nebraska is weird. Plus seller protection. So up to between $25,000 and $75,000, your sellers can get protected after the close, for seller disclosures, disputes, and things like that. We offer the full Google Workspace. Oh, tell them about the training, Damien.
Oh
You
yeah.
love that.
Okay. It was like the best training I've ever been to in my life. And I put it to work right after. But we had training on Gmail and about labels, and she talked about how, and I was guilty of it too. I have like 3,000 emails that are just sitting there. I'm gonna go through them someday, but I did. So she taught us how to like do labels properly and filters and whatnot. And, within like 48 hours, I had my inbox to zero. And like it just was a weight lifted off my shoulders because it's always such a daunting task. And I'm still at zero. So,
That's
yeah,
amazing. I love that you actually incorporated that
yeah.
training. So, most of these brokerages are giving their agents ghost emails, but we wanted to give a full Google Workspace that has, you can use Google Meet, Drive, chat, slides. There's these like AI videos that you can make where you don't have to use your face at all. I mean, just all kinds of things. So you have access to that whole shebang. Today at our company meeting, we went over a whole Zillow showcase opportunity that we're going to be excited to allow our agents to use. We get a pretty deep discount on this because we're headquartered in Iowa. Other companies that are headquartered in bigger cities, it just depends on where you're like based out of. So it's pretty cool. But Zillow Showcase, the biggest opportunity that I like about Zillow Showcase is you get all of your own leads from your listings and you're the one that shows up there. And if you don't do Zillow Showcase, then you're not showing up as like agent as the first clickable. So to me, that makes it worth it. But there's a ton of things that you can show your sellers that you're doing for them as another UVP. AdWorks Enterprise, the company's going to be, that's going to be coming soon as well. You know, when an ad is following you around on the internet, it's usually an AdWorks ad or some expert that is doing it. And so without having to gain all these skills, you'll have access to use AdWorks at a huge discount and throw your listings up at, I think, like $100 a listing. So that'll be exciting. For support, we do it pretty, we've pretty fine-tuned and dialed in our support here. We have a Slack channel, a dedicated Slack channel for every single agent at this company. It is a private Slack channel. So Damien, for instance, he has a Slack channel. It's private and locked down only to him, his managing broker, his TC is in there, compliance, concierge, and then while we're still this small of a company, leadership, the CEO, the COO is in there. And so he posts something in there, whatever he's got an issue with, and boom, somebody's answering and handling it, right?
Right.
So Damien doesn't have to run to all these different Slack channels trying to find where to get support on something. If it's a dot loop issue or if it's something about a logo or whatever, just post in your own private channel and we'll get it straightened out for you.
I
At
put
these
mine to work for sure.
at these previous companies though, you know, it was like, well, did you email admin at whatever company.com? Oh, you need to email transactions at whatever company.com. And I'm like, well, how would I know? And why aren't you forwarding that for me? And it was just kind of ridiculous. So that's how we wanted to support our agents. Like get back out there and produce. Like we'll handle that internally and make sure we get it to where it needs to go. We also offer actual real health insurance for those agents that want it or need it. These plans start as low as $89 a month. You can add your family members to it. And this is like telehealth and in-person health care. And your pets have veterinary services. And it's not just dogs and cats. If you have horses or goats or whatever, I mean, it's like real veterinary care. And then we have our Zoom room open every single weekday at a minimum of 10 to 2 Central Standard Time. And by the way, when the Zillow rep came in, he said he's, you know, obviously met with thousands of brokerages. He's been a rep for 12 years and he has never had an experience like that. How we use our Zoom. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, this was smooth as hell. This was amazing. I was like, okay, well, that's cool. But yeah, I thought that was really a high compliment to have from a Zillow rep. Um, and a unique thing about our brokerage is NAR membership, even as a residential agent, is optional. So we'll talk about that later. And you have ownership opportunities in our brokerage. There's also the option to be a commercial agent, luxury agent, farm and ranch agent. We have a lot of different routes. Why did I list these out separately? Because there are different tools that commercial or farm and ranch agents need access to. So these agents are subject to a higher monthly fee and a higher cap and a higher join fee. So you all pay the same split, which is nice. But the cap is higher, but the fact that you can cap as a commercial agent is amazing. And yeah, so just a second on the fees here. Another thing I want to point out is team members get a $5,000 cap. So the team leader will pay the full cap, team members pay a $5,000 cap. Okay. So we offer unlimited personal deals at our brokerage. This is great for investors or builders. If you have personal interest in these transactions that you're doing, all we require is a $250 transaction fee. Um, we do instant commission payments. You work very hard for your money. We want to pay you out as quickly as humanly possible. We call them 60-second payments. As soon as the money hits our account from receiving it from the commissions, we're clicking to pay out as long as the agent's file is completed and compliant, and they have it within 60 seconds. This isn't like an ACH transfer in a few days type of shit. So have you had good experiences, Damien? Hopefully.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
No, I mean, anything is an improvement from my last place I was at. So yeah.
Um, so we have in-house TC services and compliance. And something that's cool about that is our compliance, it takes a lot of the slack off the managing broker. So the managing broker is able to be available to our agents because they're not bogged down in all kinds of paperwork. They're not overly stressed out. So they can handle issues that come up for the agents because we want highly experienced managing brokers to be able to weigh in on issues for our agents so that they can be utilizing the contracts to the best of their ability and operating for their clients at a high level. We offer discounted CE and signs, discounted photos. Property management is not a hard no, and but it's not an easy yes. You'll have to interview, you'd have to have a lot of experience in it, but the fact that it's not a hard no is huge. Again, we have health insurance. We mail every agent like a welcome kit. They get some merch as soon as they join, and that's fun. But what we want to do is we want to build like the big brokerage with the small feel. We want to, have tangible items that agents can still like touch and feel like they matter, right? Um, and yes, the fact that we are built by people that have experience in the industry. I have the perspective of an agent. So Holly has the perspective of staff compliance, making sure that the staff isn't being shit on from leadership and everything. She has had lots of experiences at different companies where the staff really got bogged down. And then I have experience from an agent to where if they start like getting too heavy on compliance, I'm like, whoa, 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 an agent might get, a little bit pissed about this. So we have a really good balance at our company. I'm like, how am I supposed to get out there and sell this, right? So we set aside 25% of ownership in our company. What does that mean? Well, first of all, we are not planning to go public. All these other national virtual brokerages, they're bragging about going public, and it's a huge mistake. It is them putting the general public, BlackRock, for instance, above you, the agent, and your best interests. They're laying off staff left and right because now all they care about is their bottom line because they answer to BlackRock, they answer to these boards. So we set aside 25% of our company to give back to staff and our agents. All right. And that is real, genuine ownership shares in our company. And this works because as long as the company is growing in value, everybody's shares are growing in value. And you don't have to worry about your own downline. You don't have to worry about your stock. You don't have to going public or whatever. This is actually great equity, and we're just excited to do it differently. Freedom to run your business the way you want to run it, e-sign platform of choice, whether you want to be a NAR member or not, that's what we care about. And then Damien and I were like just talking right before this started, like we want to run a brokerage that we just basically call ourselves the non-wokerage. It's just we're not going to shove any political agenda down your throat. You're allowed to believe however you'd like to believe. And we're all adults and we don't have to, we can all have different opinions and that's okay. We give you support that is real and we're very, very proud of that. Somebody asked me couple weeks ago, what do you think the best quality of your brokerage is? And I said, the support and the culture. Like those, that's what I feel is the best qualities about our brokerage. But how do I quantify that? Like, how do I go and advertise that and be like, oh, like we have the best culture, we have the best support, right? So it can only come from other agents. And I just feel like somebody like Damien being here, I didn't even ask him to be here. He volunteered and I was really excited about that. But every agent that has been invited to this brokerage so far has done it. Every agent who has invited another agent to this brokerage has done it knowing that they're not getting something out of it, knowing that they're not going to build this huge downline and everything. So it's because they love the brokerage that much. And that should also mean a lot. So another program we're rolling out this year is called My Credits. We have this vision, you know, real estate, this is a grind. And especially for new agents, it is hard day in and day out. And you're only getting rewarded at closing, and that is really far down the road. The actions you take today affect your paycheck 90 days from now. And so we wanted to come up with a different reward system. So like we liken it to a chore chart. You make your bed and you get that little gold star and you put it on the chore chart and you get that instant dopamine hit. You feel all proud of yourself. So we want to reward agents for doing the things that they don't want to do when they don't want to do them. What's that? Coming to trainings, going to meetings, posting purposefully on social media, hosting open houses, posting other agents' listings, just things like that that get the needle moving. If cold calling's your thing, cold calling. If door knocking's your thing, door knocking. There is not a one size fits all. We help you, we coach you into finding what your income pillars are, right? And then we give you rewards for that. You can take these credits and cash them in. We're not going to tell you what's important to you. You can decide what you want to cash them in on. There's like, you know, other brokerages that'll give you a free car wash. I think you should earn your car wash. How about that?
Yeah.
So, and we'll make it a car detailing if you want, but you can choose to invest it back into your business or even get more equity in the company. This is a once in a lifetime award. The first 100 agents to cap at our brokerage, i.e. paying their 15,000 or 22,500 in the company, the first 100 agents are going to be granted 1,500 shares of equity. That might not sound like much because it is undiluted equity. At EXP, for instance, they have approximately like 160 million shares outstanding. So that's why every time an agent's getting 100 or 1,000 or however many shares, it sounds like a lot. We have 10 million shares outstanding. This is normal for a company to start out with that many, and it is completely undiluted equity. So the My First 100 award, we're giving away 1.5% of the company total to the first 100 agents who cap. We will never give that much equity away to agents or staff or anybody in that lump sum ever again. We're invite only not to be mean girls. We're invite only because we want to protect your reputation and we want to protect the culture here. Have you ever, well, I'll just say my experience. I am a pioneer. There have been times where I have pioneered for other brokerages and I have joined. I've been the first one in my area to join. I might not be the biggest producer, but I know a good business plan when I see one. And I would join and I would pioneer and I'd eat a whole bunch of shit from realtors in the area. And they're like, oh, what's this girl doing, before it would finally take off, right? But before it took off, some jackass over here with a terrible reputation would join. And this company is just going to take anybody who can fog a mirror. And that's how these downline companies work. They don't care. And it would harm my reputation by association. Clients wouldn't want to do business because they know that guy's here. Agents would treat the entire company like a joke because that guy's over here, or they'd say, I'm never going to join this company because that guy's over there. And every market's got people like that. Every market's got those embarrassing people that you just don't want to tie your reputation to. You work very hard for your reputation. So, we made it invite only. It was really funny. Holly fired a guy at a previous brokerage. He was straight up doing some illegal stuff. And then he re-signed up at the brokerage after we started this brokerage, and he completely got in, no problem. Because that's how those brokers, he was fined by the Iowa Real Estate Commission, not just ethics realtor stuff. The real estate commission dinged him, and nope, no problem, just joined right back up. So that's why we're invite only. We want you guys to be protected and to feel proud to be here. This is what luxury presence looks like. This is just an example of what your personal website can look like, and it's customizable. You can do all kinds of things on here. And we really need to roll out some more trainings for our agents and doing CMAs and stuff, because it really is beautiful. Again, we've got that Zoom room open and daily trainings. Everything starts at 10 a.m. So we do have My Real Estate Company too, which is the company that I just moved over to, because we have the non-NAR option. And I want to make something clear. We don't encourage our agents to go one way or another. Damien's a member of NAR. That suits him just fine. I chose to leave NAR because I, again, am a pioneer and I wanted to walk the walk. If I'm going to, I want to like find out what the obstacles are, if any, and be able to work through those for my agents. So that's why I led by example. But there's at least 5 or 6 agents that chose to transfer to our non-NAR brokerage at the beginning of this year. If you're an agent out there who was forced to inactivate your license because you couldn't afford $2,000 in dues by the beginning of January, let's talk. Let's have a conversation. You're exactly an agent that we created our non-NAR brokerage for. You can do residential real estate at the full level. You don't have to be a NAR member in order to have MLS access. Did you know that? So get a hold of us at My Real Estate Co. on socials and DM us for more information. And also you can go to myrealestateco.com/join for like to check out our brokerage and stalk us like Damien did. Damien, do you have any like closing remarks or anything about your experience here?
Just that if there's an agent that's not happy where there's at, there's a place for you. I kind of kicked myself in the ass for not coming over from the get, but I just wasn't ready yet. Um, the things I love here, the quickness of the pay, that's just amazing. And the sport, you know. I bug you
Good,
guys a lot and I'm going to continue to, and I appreciate that you're there.
good. And we love having agents that plug in. Like that's another big thing about our brokerage is we're very purposeful in who we invite because we want the agents that are going to plug in. And it's only like the culture feeds off of each other. And it's only as good as virtual brokerages. People say the people that say they don't work are the agents that don't plug in. But they do work and they work for the agents who utilize them properly. And so Damien's here every day, practically without fail, unless he's out buying and selling houses for clients. And that's how you got to do it. And also I've noticed that the agents who do show up are the ones who do the most business. So I'm going to try and close us out Holly style. This is always difficult for me. Message us if you need us. We are here for you. We all started this morning with a blank slate at 0. So go out and find a buyer, seller, or an agent to talk to. Have a good one, everybody. Bye.